David, the Search for a King series. Sometimes there's something that happens toward the end of somebody's life that just kind of sums up or wraps up or epitomizes their life just in one quick scene. Sometimes it happens, with a last word, a last scene, maybe even a gravestone epitaph. Well, today, what you're going to see is a scene from the life of King David that just kind of wraps up and summarizes his whole life in one picture. Now, I explained to you last week that the writers of 2 Samuel and 1 Chronicles both choose a different event to summarize the life of David. In case that confuses you, if you're a little unfamiliar with the Bible, there are some books in the Old Testament that are written as parallel accounts of the same events, and 2 Chronicles or 1 Chronicles and 2 Samuel are a couple of those books. So you have two different kind of angles on the life of David. So they choose two different events to summarize David's life. However, both of them have as David's last final act, David responding with an offering to God's lavish mercy in his life. 2 Samuel, which we studied last week, after God stopped the plague, David buys the field where God had shown mercy, and David dedicates that piece of ground as the place for the building of the future temple. What's interesting is that when David goes to the guy who owns the field, a guy named Araunah, to purchase the field, Araunah says back to him, he's like, hey man, don't worry about paying me for this. It would be my honor to just give this to you for the temple. And David's response back to him, 2 Samuel 24:24 is this. He says, no, I will purchase it from you at full price because I will not give to the Lord that which cost me nothing. In other words, David is saying, God has been so generous to me. He showed me so much grace. I want to do something that shows my love for God for him in return. I don't want to give to him a second-hand, recycled gift.
Wasn't David, he was gay, right? Him and Jonathan. And then he cut all those dick foreskins off the Philistines.
In how well it epitomizes David's life philosophy.
Right.
A life that stands amazed by God's grace toward him. A life just